sponsored by 666bet.com.
Kugan Cassius for Eiffel TV in association with 666bet and Macklin Marbella. We're in Cardiff here at the Queen's Arcade. Alright, mate. Great turnout here for Cleverly today.
What did you expect?
I was just saying, it was a great turnout here.
It was a great turnout.
Up there was absolutely mobbed. I don't know if Sky filmed that, but
it was a great turnout at the press conference as well, wasn't it? They like him in. Contrary to reports from Tony Bellew, they like Nathan Cleverly.
Quote Tony Bellew couldn't sell out a phone box.
I know.
Interesting. What does Cleverly have to do to win this fight, in your opinion?
He has to either knock Tony Bellew down so he doesn't get out for 10, or he has to win enough rounds to win it on the judges' scorecard. Okay.
Tactically.
So,
break it down for me, Hearn.
I've been thinking about this fight a lot. What surprised me today, I don't know if it surprised you, I said it to you a couple of times, was the size of Nathan Cleverly. His shoulders look massive, his legs look massive, and what he hasn't lost is his speed. So when he was on the pads and shadow, he looked very, very quick. We always knew how quick he was. The disadvantage in this fight, people said, was the size, and has Bellew moved into the cruiserweight division better than Nathan Cleverly. And in his last two performances, he's boxed tougher opposition and he's looked good. He's looked like he's punched very hard. But what's really surprised me was the size of Nathan Cleverly. He looks massive, and I wonder whether now he's really established now as a full-blown cruiserweight. He's a very bright guy. He's taking his time. He knows what he's doing, and in answer to what he has to do, I think he has to tactically to outspeed Tony Bellew. But watching how hard he hit there and the size of him, I think he's going to be carrying some power as well. And both guys can be hurt. We know that. And everyone talks about Tony Bellew punch power, and I believe he's the bigger puncher in the fight, by the way. Both fighters have been hurt in the past. But I just don't know whether this fight is going to come down to the execution of a game plan or just desire and heart and the ability to stand in the middle of the ring and trade punches, which I think it will. I don't think, I think you might see 2 or 3 rounds of just sounding out, a little bit of movement, but there's too much on the line. There's too much buzz, there's too much rivalry, there's too much noise in the arena when you walk out, I believe, to execute a game plan. And I don't think mentally at the moment Tony's in a place where he's going to be able to contain himself and box in a certain way without wanting to do what he really wants to do, which is to hurt Nathan Cleverly. I just don't know. And people say to me, "Oh, are you going to give your prediction because you promote both fighters?" I honestly don't know. I mean, part of me says that Cleverly could win it on points, and part of me says that Bellew could force a stoppage. But looking at the size of Nathan today, I think he's just as capable of pulling a stoppage as well. So I've actually come round to the thinking now that it's not going to go 12 rounds.
From their defeats to Kovalev and Stevenson, who had the worst defeat mentally?
I think probably Nathan, because it was in his backyard. Tony was out in Canada. Not many people gave him a chance. Probably went under the radar a little bit because it was early in the morning over there, or over here, sorry. And I think Tony came straight back. He had 4 months out, and then he was straight in a big fight at cruiserweight. I think it was a decision that it was like, I lost, I can't do it this weight anymore. Boom, up to cruiserweight, off we go again. Whereas Nathan, it was more about, I lost in front of my home crowd, I lost my world title. He was the champion, don't forget. Tony was the challenger. It makes a difference. He went away, and I think him and Darren have been working to build himself into a cruiserweight. And I think it's taken him a little bit of time, but what I saw today, they look right for the division, and they look very, very confident.
Bellew believes that the defeat by Kovalev is a sort of mentally ruined Cleverly. Don't agree with that?
No, I don't. No, I think that it was a very tough defeat to take. He was the world champion. He lost. He got put in a fight which he should never really have been put into, as a voluntary defence with no options. I mean, it was just mental. But that's over, and I think now he's got his head around the fact that he lost. It's been a long time. And, he was definitely affected by that loss. When he debuted for us at the Cardiff Motorpoint Arena, the same arena where he lost to Kovalev, you saw the relief on his face when that fight was over, because it definitely affected him, that loss. But I think time's a great healer, and I think he's well and truly over that now. I think the defeat affected both of them, but I think for Tony it was an easier route and an easier decision to go into the cruiserweight division. It was a case of let's roll up our sleeves and get started on a new chapter, whereas Nathan's just took a bit of time.
Tony Bellew also makes reference to the fact that Cleverly contemplated retiring after the Kovalev defeat. Can we take anything into that about his desire to fight?
No, I think it was that crushing a defeat. Like I said, don't forget he was the world champion defending his title in his hometown, and he got stopped.
His first defeat as well.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. It's tough to take. I don't know whether he was close to retiring. He's very young. He's very fresh, but he has got things going on outside of the sport. He's been very successful in his property. He's a very bright guy as well. So I think he's just taking his time. But one thing that I will tell people is that he wanted this fight. He came to us, and we put a plan together to lead to the Tony Bellew fight. It wasn't, we'll sign the Matchroom, but we don't want the Bellew fight. It was, look, we want the Bellew fight. It's the biggest fight out there. I want to beat him again. So let's do it again, So, people talk about who's got the more desire in the fight. Tony's definitely got the more hatred. He's coming off the defeat to Nathan Cleverly. It's difficult when you've beaten him as well to have that same hatred and desire, but like I said, Nathan mentally at the moment is definitely the more balanced of the two, and if there is a game plan to execute, you'd have to think that in that mental state you'd be in a better place to do it.
We know the winner of this fight can propel himself towards another crack at the world title. What happens to the loser of this fight?
I've said before, I believe the winner and loser will go on to fight for the world title. I think that the loser not straight away, they'll probably have a comeback fight, but the winner, so Marco Huck's flying in on Friday, he's desperate to fight the winner. Every fight, this is the biggest fight in the cruiserweight division. Someone tweeted me the other day going, well, what about Huck versus Hernandez? Come on, mate, are you for real? Like, show me that's going to sell an arena out, show me that's going to get the hype that this is going to get. This is the biggest fight in the division. And every champion is looking at this fight thinking, I want the winner, because that's a big fight. Huck's flying over, you've got Hernandez fighting off Alabi soon. That is like the most low-key fight you could find in the division, and it's for a world title. Hernandez need people like Bellew and Cleverly. Huck's a big name, and he'll be here on Friday. He wants the winner badly. I think both fighters will fight for a world title. I just think it's just a wonderful fight.
Interesting. Does Huck talk good English?
I don't know. I think he's bringing a translator, so I think the answer's no. I'm sure you'll get an interview. Is that all
I will get him. Yeah, I will get him.
Yeah.
Bring up the Nelson thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure that's progressing. But is he still harping on Johnny for that fight?
Yeah, he wants it. He wants it. Interesting. All right, well listen, we're going to leave shortly. On the road again, off to Liverpool in the morning for the workout for Bellew. We'll do another little update video in the morning.
Smith as well.
What time does it all start?
12:30. Just want to check the venue because you have such a huge audience, Coogan. I don't want to give people the wrong information. So I'm just going to tell you that tomorrow's workout is at the Dome in the Grand Central Hall. All this stuff's very posh, Coogan.
Okay. What time's Callum Smith?
12:30 Callum Smith, probably about 1:15 Tony Bellew.
Okay.
So get yourselves up there, meet the fighters again. Saw Nathan, took his time to give time for the fans today. Lots of signing. It's great for boxing. Wednesday and Thursday, the two press conferences just open to the media. On Friday at the St George's Hall, it's going to be a huge event. 1 o'clock weigh-in, fan zones. Josh Warrington, Brian Rose, Rocky Fielding, Paul Smith, Stephen Smith. I think Luke Campbell, Joshua will probably come out there as well. Everyone going to spend time meeting the fans and signing stuff. So get yourself down to St George's Hall on Friday.
All right, Leon. Until tomorrow.
Cheers, mate.
The Big Fight, sponsored by 666bet.com.